Dr. A.M. Ahmed has appeared in the Benoni Magistrates Court on charges of possessing stolen medicine and contravening the Medicines Act, amongst other charges. This was a special assignment investigation into stolen state medicines that led the Hawks to recover about 2 million rands worth of medicine in Benoni on the East Rand.
The allegedly stolen medicine was seized from the doctor's Actonville surgery. The medicine comprised a large amount of antibiotics and antiretroviral as well as diabetics medication. It was originally destined for Gauteng state hospitals.
Medicine theft is a serious crime which costs taxpayers billions of rands annually. It leads to medicine shortages, which has a direct impact on the state's ability to provide better health care to the most vulnerable in society.
The theft of medication is serious in our province in that it denies ordinary patients that commodity. And also the state resources are not infinite.
The arrest of Dr. Ahmad has uncovered a nationwide crime syndicate that targets ports of entry, government depots, state clinics, hospitals, including truck hijacking.
The theft, it's on a wide scale because now theft comes in various forms. Could be just diversion at the warehouse where the medicine is being kept, then they just take it out, or could be truck hijacking. And in the recent months, we have seen just an increase in the number of trucks being hijacked containing medication.
The Hawks hailed the raid at Dr. Ahmad's surgery as a major breakthrough on the war on medicine theft. But in clear defiance of the law, out on bail, it was soon business as usual. His surgery was fully restocked with fresh supplies of alleged stolen medication, a brazen act which appears to have no limits. Workers at Dr. Ahmad's surgery in Actonville, Benoni on Gauteng's East Rand are against filming the police raid at his surgery.
Listen to go. Yeah, for the camera. Yeah, for the camera. Yeah, for the camera. Yeah, for the camera. The camera. It's our doctor. It's our father. We grew up here.
Actonville is a former Indian residential area with a high rate of unemployment. Dr. Ahmad has lived here for most of his life. In this community, he is known as the people's doctor, dispensing cheap medicines to his patients. But as it turns out, it's all allegedly stolen.
And he's the best doctor. That's what I can tell you. I'm so shocked to say that the cops are here. I don't know what is happening.
They're saying he's allegedly involved in selling stolen state medication.
No, I won't believe that. I won't believe that. No, I will never believe that. I will never believe that. I know him from 76.
I came to Dr. Ahmed to buy high blood pills. Usually because there's a lot of queue in the hospital, usually come here to buy the pills.
And how much does it cost?
It's 15 rand, just 15 bucks.
I'm so miserable. Good, what's going on today? It's the first time I come here, I find these things.
Is it cheaper to come here?
Well, I'm always come here. If I'm not coming here, I'm going to the clinic for high blood. Well, here in the clinic, they don't give me the Voltaren tablets. I'm supposed to buy it. That's why this one is my doctor.
Show him come here. I just want to lock my friend. Look, this is my residential.
As he emerges from the top section of his double-story house, which he shares with his family, the Hawks want to question him about a batch of alleged stolen diabetes medication that he has been selling.
I was given a lead by a source that there is a doctor in Actonville, Benoni, dispensing state medicine. I then investigated. There was a guy I think is his patient. I then befriended the guy. He was from the doctor and he got the medication. I then asked to see what's in there. I was shocked when I looked at the package of the medicine.
The labeling on the medication is clearly marked, not for sale, for state use only. It's a dead giveaway. But at this stage, authorities are still not certain if he is allegedly dispensing the medication that links him to the crime.
But this is a private letter.
We've got a search warrant, doctor, to search your premises, ne?
Yes.
Yeah. And then for suspected stolen medicine that are in your premises, going to search for suspected stolen medicine. Any material suspected to be used in the community.
Can I inform my lawyer?
Can you show us this product before? This product, where is it?
You see, to tell you the truth.
No, it's fine. Can you just
He suddenly realizes he's in deep trouble. Not sure of how to get out of the situation, he claims to suffer from a medical condition.
To me at the moment, I've got blood sugar low. I need to drink some milk.
Yes, where is it?
Yeah. No, I need to drink a little bit of milk.
Yes, where's the product?
Yeah.
This one. Do you want someone to bring the milk for you?
Yeah, I want to send someone to the shop to buy me milk.
Okay, it's fine, but at the meantime, just show us this product. Where is it?
According to the Gauteng Health Department, millions of rands are lost annually due to medication theft. It leads to medicine shortages, which has a direct impact on the state's ability to provide for citizens that are not on a medical aid.
The theft of medication is serious in our province in that it denies ordinary patients that commodity. And also the state resources are not infinite, they are finite. So our budget is based on the patient load, the disease burden, and also the policies. For instance, now we have agreed on a policy of test and treat. Stealing medication from the public sector is actually like stealing from the patients themselves.
The Hawks eventually find what they were looking for. As they further their investigation, probing deeper, they were shocked to uncover more than 2 million rand of alleged stolen state medication destined for Gauteng hospitals.
We are in the process of finding out how did the medicine which belongs to the state get to be at his apartment. It involves a chain of people, as things stand now, that there's been some organized crime of some sort that happened, which led to him being in possession of those medicines. Because he will also be selling medicines which needs prescriptions, but he will be giving them over the counter just like that.
Authorities had their work cut out for them as they went about the business of sifting through piles and piles of medication, auditing and sealing the medicine in forensic bags to present as evidence in court. Dr. Ahmad was arrested and kept overnight in a holding cell at the Actonville police station, which is a stone's throw from his house.
Well informed with primetime news.
Thanks for tuning in. You're watching SABC News Prime. The burning land reform issue was also a point of discussion on the first day.
If you do not have a skills revolution, you will run into the kind of problems that we're having at the moment.
We have funded about 466,000 students, out of about 800,000 students that are in the university system.
South Africa says insufficient electricity and water remains one of the biggest barriers to development and prosperity on the continent.
The top 4 batsmen in the squad, Hashim Amla, Quinton de Kock, Faf du Plessis and AB de Villiers, are certainties in the starting lineup.
I really believe we cover all bases when it comes to spin bowling, seam bowling, proper pace bowling, and an amazing batting lineup.
Stay tuned every Monday to Sunday from 6 p.m.
Meningitis is a potentially deadly disease that affects more than 1 million people worldwide each year.
Well, it's an infection of the lining of the brain and the spinal cord. And it's caused by a variety of bacteria.
And also, importantly, with fungal meningitis, there's no transmission from person to person.
In South Africa and elsewhere in the world, the ministries of health etc. have recognized this as an important disease to prevent. And vaccines have been introduced into immunization, routine immunization programs.
It's really important to prevent, and the best way to prevent is to have people know their HIV status, start antiretroviral treatment as soon as possible.
For all your health news, join Health Talk every Saturday from 9 to 10.
Dr. Ahmad appeared in the Benoni Magistrates Court and was soon released on 20,000 Rand bail. A little more than a year ago, he was arrested for the same crime. But despite the mounting evidence against him, the charges were later dropped.
In November 2015, we raided his business. We found medicines as well. And we had our undercover agents who also went there and found that he could just give you a sick note without examining you. But that case was thrown out of court due to lack of evidence.
But how much more evidence is required to secure a conviction when he was caught red-handed selling alleged stolen state medication?
I think we do need a shake-up of the medical sector when it comes to illegal medicines, medicines that are stolen. I think that there needs to be better medical enforcement of the oversight bodies, the health professional bodies, the Medicine Control Council, but really our law enforcement must take this seriously. I think we should have a specialist division in the police that can actually crack down on this, That's the way that you get things done. You go and report this in an ordinary police station, they don't know what to do with it.
However, the Hawks say this time around they have a solid case against him. They say they have also put in place safety measures to prevent it from happening again.
Now when he's practicing, we've just ensured that the medicines that we took from him don't go back. And our surveillance are very much vigilant that there's no any suspicious moves there.
Despite this assurance from the police, we wanted to see what would happen once he was out on bail. So we sent our investigator in with a hidden camera to see what he could find.
But I went in just after the past on Monday, and it was business as usual. I went to buy medication, metformin for diabetes. It was packed. Even the dispensary, it was full of medication again. And there was a security who was controlling the queue because the security is tight there. There's cameras everywhere, and this guy is busy controlling the queue. I went in and buy, and they just sold it for me, just like that.
Yeah. Our undercover investigator asks for metformin, a diabetic medication.
Matomini. Whether it is Matomini.
But I make it 70 rand for 90. 70 rand. Doctor, what is
Matomini.
What do you use that for?
No sugar.
Oh, for sugar it's like metformin. Metformin.
Yeah. Fully packaged.
Sorry.
At this stage, we are not sure if the medication is stolen. But even so, it's illegal to sell metformin, a Schedule 3 drug for diabetes, without a doctor's script, without being examined by a doctor.
For you to be told that you're diabetic, a doctor must have examined you, they must have done blood tests to determine your sugar levels. And then once they've done all those things, that's when they can start now prescribing the correct medication. For some of these things, I mean, you don't have to, when you take some of the diabetic medication, especially tablets, you still have to go regularly back to the doctor to do some blood tests to see everything is still okay.
Whilst our investigator was busy buying the medication, he came across another queue of alleged illegal activity. People waiting to see a doctor.
I discovered that there were 2 queues. The other one is for the dispensary. The other one, it goes to the kitchen for fake notes, for fake signals. I decided to go back in the other day. And when I went in, I spoke to the receptionist and he said, no, you can go in the kitchen. The doctor will find you there. I went in the queue, he sold the signals to this other guy and I was next. And he asked me, what are you here for? I said, I want a signal. He said, how many days? I said, I just want 1 day. He said, it's 100 rand for a day.
So did you tell them this?
Yeah, I did.
What you do?
I told them that I came down with
Yeah. Where you work?
at cash build cash build in blood.
Oh yeah, which one?
Yeah.
You just give all your particulars to Mary at the table, and she put it in a box because she needs to have your ID number. Resume duty 210317, but you're gonna go Wednesday.
Tomorrow it's holiday.
Tomorrow is Wednesday.
A few days later, we called Dr. KP Naidu to get his response on the alleged fraudulent medical certificates that he issues.
Hi, may I please speak to Dr. KB Naidu? Can I please speak to Dr. KB Naidu?
KB Naidu, is this on the line? Went Friday to work, so there's not a problem.
We were shocked when we heard Dr. Naidu at the other end, allegedly selling a fake sick note.
So then I'm going to put 29, 31, go back 2. Means that you're off. You'll only take 3 days. Hello?
Hello, is it Dr. Naidu?
Yes, speaking.
Yes, I'm under the impression that you are selling sick notes, meaning people they can buy sick notes without consulting.
So sorry, I can't hear what you say. From which center are you? Where are you based?
No, I will tell you now, but I just want to find out.
I'm a partner here. Just hang on a while, alright?
So you're not going to speak to me. I heard you just now over the phone. You were doing the very same thing.
It's astonishing to see how soon after the raid at Dr. Ahmad's surgery, he and his associates were up and running in an instant. According to the Hawks, he is allegedly linked to a medication theft syndicate in Gauteng.
Violence against women, it also talks to such behavior where teachers, instead of educating kids and give them dignity, they strip them of their dignity.
The First Lady.
The First Lady, her action, it's just unacceptable. I must say that it cannot be condoned. If I had it my way, I would say we had to act and make sure that he goes to jail.
This scourge is not ceasing.
The angry people, the intolerant, it's so huge. So then the scourge finds itself within that particular environment. We cannot say that it's a standalone. It's influenced by social ills, economic challenges.
Join me in Port Said live every Monday to Thursday at 17:30.
The port city of Durban has the biggest harbour in the SADC region. Annually, millions of tons of goods enter the port, including medicine, which government imports directly from India.
Our investigation led us to Durban because we believe that the medication that was found in Dr. Ahmad's practice as the same medication that was reported stolen from the container that was coming from the harbour in Durban.
In 2012, police dismantled a syndicate operating at the Durban harbour. It appears container theft is an ongoing problem that has now resurfaced. The target are containers of state medication valued at millions of rand.
Yes, we can confirm that Durban will put our eyes there because we have identified. Once we identify, we need to go there and investigate thoroughly. But doing so, also focus on other points of interest.
Medication is also stolen from state depots where government officials collude with pharmaceutical crime syndicates. The Gauteng Health MEC says they have already taken action against a number of employees.
In the financial year 2016-17, the department had 87 reported cases of theft of medicines, and 60 of these cases had been concluded and action taken, and a part of the action involves dismissing the doctors, all the health professionals, and all, sometimes it's ordinary support staff that are involved. Sometimes it's interception of the delivery of these medications. And I must say that 27 cases are still outstanding that we are busy processing.
It appears that organized crime syndicates have found the weaknesses in the government supply chain of medication. This is where most of the theft is happening.
The problem is that the department doesn't track and monitor it, and that's really the problem. There's a lack of controls. So medicines can go missing at various parts of the chain, en route from the depot to the clinic, at the clinic itself, at the hospital. I think there's syndicates and rackets going on. So I think it's actually very high, but official statistics are hard to come across. And the figures that I've got when I've asked a question of the Gauteng Health Department is actually very low. So I think they don't know the true extent of it, and that's the reason they don't know is because there aren't the proper controls.
We wanted to know from the Gauteng Health MEC if she knew how much money is lost due to theft.
Well, I don't have the number. The figure is with me now.
Recently in Limpopo, police arrested government officials and a security guard alleged to have stolen medication valued at 1.2 million rand. It was alleged to be sold to a Gauteng syndicate.
A majority of our people have been struggling around clinics in lack of medication. But I can say some of the medications that have been found. We have a Schedule 6 medication. You talk about medications that must be stored in fridges. You talk about medications that are meant for mental ill patients. You talk about medications that are meant for TB. You talk about medication for children. And this is a very worrying issue.
We took the medication we bought at Dr. Ahmad's surgery to the Medicines Control Council. who examined it to establish if it was stolen state medication.
The batch number for men in the street is not easy to make out from the batch number this is a stolen medication or not. But for us, in law enforcement, what we will do, we'll take that batch number and go to the company. So the XY company, we found this thing on the market. Can you give us an audit trail of this thing, who bought it? And then they will give us, so now this wholesaler, we have supplied it to, they've given doctors, they will tell us and everything. And from the wholesalers, we can go to the wholesalers and wholesalers, on this particular day, you have received so many units from this company of this batch number.
It was later confirmed that the medicine is stolen. It was bought on a state tender for government use. We're not sure if Dr. Ahmad and his associates actually consult patients. What we do know is that his business allegedly comprised of selling fraudulent sick notes and dispensing stolen medication.
It's a normal house, a double-story house in a residential area. You know, he sleeps on top and he sees the patients at the bottom. You know, I went in there and I tried to look around and I didn't see any formal consultation room with your patient's bed and whatnot. Only a dispensary room and the kitchen where they write fake notes in.
The rise in dodgy surgeries is a growing phenomenon. The OHSC has been tasked to regulate doctors' rooms, but since it was established 5 years ago, they are still not certain what the certification process will entail.
You'll find that the practice is registered under a particular registered doctors, and you've got other doctors who are not registered. It's the issues that we are still working on with HPCSA. It has come out in our discussions when we're working on the private GP standards. I think it will further be clarified when the standards are ready to be submitted to the Ministry of Health by the board. But the practice committee have raised those issues.
Outside the Mofulu clinic in Soweto, we meet 57-year-old Jafta Mukwena. He says there is often a shortage of medicine which the state expects him to buy so that it doesn't interrupt his treatment.
Last time I was asking the pill, they give me shortage pill, and then when I come they say no, I must wait for my month, because they give me sometimes pill for 3 months, sometimes for weeks. You see, that is my problem.
So they have shortages of medicines?
Yes, they have shortages of medicines. Evening now, when you're going there, you can ask something is not there, they say no, there's nothing.
At the end of the day, you might find that now a certain hospital has received a number of units for this type of medication. And if they are stolen, then you don't have them. In their computer, they do have it. But when it comes to the actual dispensing, there's nothing that you can do. And you might find that it's one of those critical medications where you find that the patient is on the operating table. Then you've got a serious problem there.
The raid at Dr. Ahmad's surgery has cast a dark shadow on the country's health sector. If the criminal justice system doesn't act now, it might just be too late, as medication crime syndicates continue to operate with brazen impunity. The case has been postponed for further investigation.